you've got to find it within yourself to want it, because if you don't, there's someone else that wants it more. Today I'm going to give you 4 of my tips from my ultimate guide to becoming a professional singer. You can grab the guide for free by clicking the link below this video. Number 1, which is the most important thing, is that you absolutely nail your vocal technique. Now, I know that there are some singers that work professionally that have never had any training, and you know, they're happy to just tell everyone, I've never had any vocal training. And they are out there working professionally. But what I would say to them is, you know, as I've worked as a professional for 20 years, I would like to think I've worked on my technique throughout my time previous to becoming a professional and during the time that I have been a professional. I have grown and I have been open to new things. And I would say to anyone who is thinking about becoming a pro and maybe you haven't had any vocal training, that maybe now's the time, because it's not about somebody changing your voice. It's about someone just having a look, having a listen, and giving you a few kind of tweaks and tips that could totally transform your experience of singing. It could make everything, life, you know, in general with the singing, a lot easier. And if you are really serious about doing this as a career and you want a long-term career, I would absolutely get some vocal technique down and be very specific about what it is that you want from your voice, and be very, you know, tailor the work to getting what you want. It's not about, you know, training to be an opera singer if you're going to sing rock. It's about finding very specific training for what it is that you want to achieve. Motivation and drive. This is key. If you are going to get anywhere, you must be self-motivated. You must have drive. A career in singing is not just going to fall on your lap. It is not going to come knocking at the door. It is going to be about you taking action and getting out there and showing what you can do, creating opportunities for yourself. It doesn't happen if you just sit around doing nothing. Believe me, I have to kind of like rev up my students sometimes and be like, you know, this is not an easy career, guys. You know, get stuff together, get sorted. If you're doing performances, you know, maybe you're in training at the moment. If you're doing assessments, don't turn up the day before not knowing what song you're doing, or don't turn up with a song that you've never done in your lesson before. Like, what, you don't even know the words or the form, or it's like, no, get your brain in gear, get some motivation and drive to want to be your best. That's important. That's what this is about. You know, do you want to be the best that you can be? Do you want to get up on stage and be proud of what you've done, or do you just want to blag it for the rest of your life? It's very easy to see through those things, and I don't think you'll get very far if you just do the bare minimum to do your job. It's just not going to be great, and you're not going to get a good reputation, and you're going to just not do very well. Okay, so get some motivation, get some drive, get up on a morning, think about what it is you do, set a practice regime. What do you want to achieve? What are the goals you want to achieve from your voice? How are you going to do that? How are you going to get the work that you want to get? All these things are going to be down to you. So you've got to find it within yourself to want it, because if you don't, there's someone else that wants it more. There's always going to be someone else right behind you, ready to grab that gig, to grab the stuff. So you got to want it. Discipline. It's almost the same as motivation and drive, but discipline is something that has to become ingrained within you to become good at what you do, but not only to become good at what you do, but to continue to be good at what you do. So sometimes you're not going to feel like it. Sometimes you're not going to want to get on stage. Believe me, I've done it for 20 years. There have been times when I've had to drag myself on the stage and be like, okay, let's do this. So discipline, not only in doing the things that you need to do, doing the practice, learning the songs, working out ways of singing it that is going to be useful and effective for you. You know, the discipline of day to day. How do I move forwards in my career? What are the steps I'm going to take? Do I have a plan? This is really important, and I am so for this because I think this is totally missing from education, is helping singers make a plan of what it is they're going to do. Because so often I'll say, so what are you going to do when you leave uni or when you leave college, or what are you going to do now that you want to be a professional singer? And they don't have an answer. Nothing. Tumbleweed. Oh, just going to see what happens. I'll tell you what'll happen. You'll end up not doing it. So you've got to make a plan. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to do the work, put in the work to be the greatest singer you can be. Put in the work to get the work that you want, to get the gigs you want or the shows you want. You cannot be lazy about this. We've got to find a way of working it all out, getting what you want. Yeah, being disciplined to sit down and practice. You know, do some stuff outside of what you'd normally do. Enjoy it, you know. If you don't enjoy practicing, then maybe this is not the right career for you anyway. You know, if you I didn't bother. What are you doing it for? Once I start practicing, you can't stop me. Like literally, I have to stop myself. Once I get into a practice session, I could just do it for hours. You know, that's what you've got to get into, that kind of flow. Find that flow. Know that it won't always be easy, because it's not. There'll be times when you've got some great things going. There'll be times when you haven't. There'll be times when you feel like everybody else is better than you. There'll be times when you think that everyone else is doing greater, more wonderful things than you. And this is the time where you've got to get your blinkers on and be like, right, focus. Where am I going with this? Because if not, it's very easy to get snowed under with, oh, you know, this is not going well. And that's only going to end up being more stuff not going well. So you've got to think positive. You've got to stay in your zone of what it is that you want from your career, what you want from being a professional, and move forwards with that. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Think about what you're doing. And know that it's not easy. It's not just going to be like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's loads of money for writing that album. You got to work at it. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep doing this stuff to get where you want to be, or to work out where it is that you want to be. Try different things out. You know, take a gig where someone says, do you want to come in and try this? It's a different style that you normally do. Don't be afraid. You got to be open. You got to be open to lots of different things. That's what I've learned along the way. So I hope that helps. There are 25 of these wonderful tips and nutshells of things that I think that are going to be really beneficial for you if you are thinking of having a career, or maybe you're already having a career as a singer and you need to just kind of like refresh and just get your head back in gear, just get back on track and just get all the negativity out of the way and make this a plan. Because remember, becoming a professional means that the hobby and the lovely thing that you used to do because it made you feel good and you loved it has become the thing that is going to make you money to live off. That is a whole different thing. It's a whole different mindset, and it's a whole different world of stuff. So let me know, what tips have you got for being a professional singer if you are already? What things you need? grab my guide. It's free to download. You can just click the link below and you can get that straight to your inbox. And please then share with me what you found useful. And maybe if I've missed something out, I can add that back in. But I will see you again very soon at Singer's Advice.